Most people in Fort Worth have no idea this quiet trail hides the largest natural waterfall in Tarrant County, or that it sits right next to an air base with a story the public rarely hears. Today I'm walking you to a place where nature, aviation, and a forgotten chapter of Texas history quietly meet. We're jumping into time because when I was editing this, it wasn't a rain day. We were going through a pretty low rainy season, but yesterday it started to rain pretty hard. Yes, I'm from the future. I was almost about to hit publish on this clip and then it rained. I was like, I gotta go out there again and take a look at this. And wow, you're gonna be amazed. You just gotta continue watching to see this amazing waterfall here. You will first walk through the entrance sign that was designed to echo the old gates of Carswell Air Force Base, which in the early 1940s rolled out rows of B-24 Liberators during World War II. When you first step into the park, you're greeted by a frame of a McDonnell Douglas C-9 jet. This one once served as a medical evacuation aircraft for the Air Force, a reminder of the thousands of flights that used to take off right next door. Just off the path are a few educational signs about the area. They talk about how the parking lot was designed to absorb rainwater instead of flooding the creek, and how native plants were chosen to protect local wildlife. Even the landscaping here was planned around conservation. Once you've taken a moment around the C9 frame, you can follow the sidewalk toward the pavilion, the former site of the Carswell Base commander's home. It's a quiet shaded area with a few benches, perfect for a break before continuing on. From here, the trail leads into a peaceful tree-covered section with a shallow stream bed. You can wander around the rocks, listen to the water, and then hop back on the main path as we head towards the waterfall. Before crossing the first bridge, you'll see two Texas historical markers. One of them shares the history of the Fort Worth Army Airfield, and the other is the story of Major Horace Sever Carswell Jr., a Fort Worth native and a Medal of Honor recipient. During a World War II mission over the South China Sea, Major Carswell stayed at the controls of his damaged B-24 long enough for 8 of his crew to escape. The plane eventually crashed into a mountain, taking his life and 2 remaining crew members. He was honored posthumously in 1946, and the base carries his name. Honestly, this is my first time ever coming to this park, this waterfall, so it's going to be very interesting to see. I've kind of heard about it, but for me to actually see this, I'm interested. A waterfall in Fort Worth, Texas, in my backyard. The walk to the falls is a smooth paved trail. On one side you got quiet neighborhoods and an open field, and on the other a wooded creek that eventually flows into the waterfall. That's a very peaceful trail back here. It's pretty quiet. There's nature, there's a golf course nearby, but it's not that really crowded. So this is a good place if you want to connect with nature and for it not to be that crowded. There are a few places where you can step off the trail and get a closer look at the water. It's clear, shallow, and peaceful. Not really deep enough for fishing, but beautiful to look at. A little further in, you pass some interesting stone structures. One of them is an archway with a concrete bench beneath it. It feels like a leftover piece of something older, maybe from a former home or park boundary. It makes you wonder what this place looked like decades ago. The second bridge crosses over a creek called Farmer's Branch. Funny enough, there's a city in DFW with the same name. I'm not sure if there's a connection, but if you happen to know, leave a comment. I love hearing how small places get their names. Another broken concrete arch sits in the creek below, slowly being claimed by nature. The water is pretty clear here, as you can see. And I noticed there's pictures there on the Google Maps and stuff like that, of people actually swimming in this water, but I don't know. Sometimes I like to go on these off trails to see what's back behind there. This is one of these. I don't know where it's going to go, but it's on the other side of the creek, so you can see. On the smaller side trail, I noticed signs of animal life and a few hidden paths that led down towards the creek. I didn't go too far, being this close to the military installation. I figured I'd stay on the main trail, but it's cool to see how much nature is tucked back here. Alright, as you can see, it ended up to this fence right here. It looks like a frisbee golf course right on the other side of that fence. We're right by the Naval Air Station here in Fort Worth, so don't want to cross the fence, plus there's a private property sign that's right down there. But that's where the trail went to. It's a little peaceful back here though. Eventually, you'll reach the backside of the falls, one of the best angles to see how the rock layers step downward like a staircase carved by time. The day I visited, the water was extremely low, but people told me after a big rain, the sound is incredible and the flow is strong enough to fish below the falls. Okay, here it is. I came after yesterday. We had a really good rain yesterday, and wow, the waterfall has completely changed since the last time that I was here, which was a couple of days ago when we haven't had rain for a good week. The water is, I can see why this is the largest waterfall in Fort Worth, because it's pretty massive in the Fort Worth, Texas style of thinking. It's amazing. It's peaceful. You can actually hear the water like coming around the corner. From the first time I couldn't hear it. This time I can hear it. So this is really cool to see. There are benches and plenty of space to sit, listen, and unwind. Even on a quiet day, the soft sound of running water almost drowns out the city behind you. This is also a fantastic location for photography. One thing a lot of people don't know, this is officially the largest natural waterfall in all of Tarrant County. And it's not the only one nearby. There's another small waterfall not too far from here, and I'll be visiting that one in a future video. If you know of any others in Fort Worth area, drop in the comments and I'd love to check them out. Traveling for work, I visit parks and hidden spots all over the country, but somehow I spent years overlooking the ones in my own backyard. That's something I want to change. Texas has so many places like this, spots locals forget about or maybe ever knew existed, and I want to start rediscovering them one by one. There's a channel I enjoy called Tourist to Local, where they find places off the tourist path. For me, I want to flip that idea. I want to be the local becoming a tourist in my own hometown. I want to visit the landmarks, parks, hidden gems, and historical places that make Fort Worth, Dallas, and all of Texas worth traveling to. This video is the start of that journey. If you want to join me as I uncover more places like this across Texas, make sure to subscribe, like the video, and leave a comment with the next spot you want me to visit. I got a lot more coming.